still here. She's just listening. She's at work. So it's you4 or you3. The one appearing as the 4. Anishmita, you're gearing up for a question there. I know you are.
Yeah, I don't know what to ask you.
You don't know what to ask? Okay. It's good if you can sit in that not knowing. Can you just rest without questions?
No, I have questions.
You have questions. You have so many, you just don't know which one.
Yeah.
It's a new type of problem. Okay.
It's like what am I doing? Why am I listening to you? Like all these kinds of questions.
Yeah. And you're not, like I said, this is this is
And
quite.
also, what are you getting out of this? Oh, I mean, how come you have dedicated your life to this? I mean, all these kinds of questions.
Yeah. These type of questions, they're always like coming from the mind, right? It's when you're actually like getting close. The mind is just like, you're probably like the 5th person to be like, who's this guy? What am I doing? It's like something just kind of I don't know, just kind of like I've had it with
before
with
coming
other
to your
people.
meeting, I suffer from a great conflict. You know, I mean, I'm not getting out of it anything. So.
Oh, you're gone. Are you back? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Before coming to your this guidance or something, I mean, my mind cannot understand why I'm doing this, and it's like it's like
It can't know. It can't know.
yes.
So all of these questions, let me talk without interrupting. All of these questions, just you relax. There's nothing to understand here. You just kind of feel like you just are sitting and relaxing, sitting on the bench, just listening. Okay. All of these questions are just simply the mind trying to know. Okay. And it can't know. It will never know. It's impossible for it to know. Okay. So that's why I said just relax. So just relax. Now, realize that it is you that's watching the mind try and grasp, try and hold on to an idea, try and run to this, trying to uncover this. It's all of this work and effort you are aware of. You are aware of all the questioning. Who's this guy? What am I doing here? What is there to get? Why has he dedicated? Why am I in such a mess? Why do I have all of these things? Why? It will never know the why. It can't know. It's trying to know you. It can't know you. You are what's knowing the mind. The mind can't know you, but you definitely know the mind. And all you ever talk to me about is the mind. You only are reporting about your mind. You have all these questions. Every one of your chats with me is always about the mind said this, the mind said that, the mind's doing this, the mind's doing that. And I'm saying, enough telling me about the mind. I'm not interested in the mind, but you seem to be very interested in the mind. And I'm just trying to get you interested in what you are. I'm saying, well, just become a little interested in what's watching the mind. What is knowing the mind? What is it that's seeing the mind perform all of these actions? What is it that's watching the mind race? What is it that's watching the mind be confused? What is watching the mind be busy? What is watching the mind be dark? What is watching all of the problems in the mind? And I'm always just pointing you back to yourself. that if all you know is the mind, then that's all you're going to know is problems. But I'm saying what you actually are is problem free. So just become a little interested in that which is knowing the mind. See, if you're always watching the mind, it's like a trance. It's like you get hypnotized by that activity. But I'm saying, well, it's you that's watching, and it's clearly you that's watching because you're always reporting what the mind is doing. It's like you're taking notes all the time. You're watching this thing like an animal that you're hunting. You're watching, you know where it's going. This animal is going because you're watching all of the patterns. You're watching the activity. Well, the rabbit goes in the hole here. The rabbit comes here for water. The rabbit goes over there to eat. See, how would you know that if it wasn't for you watching? So what you actually are is watching the mind. And you can only watch something because you are at a distance from it. So I'm showing that you're actually beyond the mind. You wouldn't be able to see it if you were actually the mind. If you were actually the mind, how would you be able to see it? You're able to watch the mind like this eyeball is able to watch the cup. The cup is an object that is appearing to this eyeball. This eyeball can see the cup, but it can't see itself. You want to know yourself like an object, but I'm telling you, you can't know yourself like an object. You will know everything else as an object, but you won't know yourself as an object. Why? Well, because you are the subject. You continue to tell me about the object, the mind, the object, the objective experience. The objective experience is something that you can describe. The mind is fast, it's racing, it's kind of dark, it's busy, it's loud, it's noisy. You're telling me about all these changes, and this change is the activity, which we call the mind. And I'm just saying, yeah, but what's watching that activity? What is it that's knowing the activity? That which is knowing the activity is itself not an activity. That which is knowing the change is itself not changing. That which is seeing the activity appear and disappear is not appearing and disappearing. So what you're looking for is actually what you're looking from. It's you that you're looking for. That which is watching the conflict of the mind is inherently peaceful. It's like there's peace that's watching conflict. It's like there's happiness that's watching unhappiness. It's like there's love that's watching fear. It's like there's freedom that's watching bondage. And all I'm saying is, well, what's watching? What is it seeing? What is seeing? What is witnessing? What is looking? I'm using all of these words synonymously. It's you. That's the one thing you can't deny. It's actually the only certainty that it's you that's aware. It's you that's experiencing. It's not something other than you that's experiencing. The only difference is that you have an idea of yourself. I'm saying that you equals experiencing. You have another idea. You say you equals Anishmita, this age, this old, this gender, this religion, lives here with these parents, with this, all of that, you bring on a whole story. I'm saying, no. You equals experiencing. Leave it at that. It's you that's experiencing the mind. It's you that's experiencing a story of an Ishmita. It's you that's experiencing problems. It's you that's experiencing suffering. It's you that's experiencing fear. It's you that's experiencing imprisonment, bondage, limitations. Now, so that's what you're telling me about. It's like you're telling me about all this stuff in the foreground, in front, because it's appearing to you. It's an appearance, right? Here it is and I'm saying, well, just take one step back further. Tell me about that which is watching it. That which is watching all of that. All you're telling me about is all the stuff in the foreground. Now I'm just saying, what about the background? What about all of this? This activity is appearing on something. What is it appearing on? This activity is appearing in something. What is it appearing in? The fear is always appearing in you, is it not? Yes. The pain is appearing in you. Now, what is that which these feelings are appearing in? This vast, empty, spacious awareness is like a limitless container that's containing all of this activity. So I'm just saying, instead of telling me about the activity, notice the space in which this activity is appearing in. This activity of mind, the mind activity is actually appearing in you. The mind is a thing, but that which it's appearing in is no thing. Tell me about the no thing that is aware of the something. You're always telling about something, which is the mind. Something, the problem. Suffering, the something. The attachment, the something. The pain, that's something. Well, this something is actually appearing in no thing. The attention is always going towards something. Questions are always something. Can you just simply rest as no thing? Rest as nobody, going nowhere. The activity is always wanting to go somewhere. That's what's always changing and moving. It's busy. It's always moving, always changing. It seems to want to go somewhere. But the empty, spacious awareness in which that activity is appearing in, that space is not going anywhere. Just simply rest as that space. That's empty. Just remain empty. Forget about the questions. You're full of questions. Rest. Being empty. Just be totally empty. You're full of the past, full of other knowledge that you've listened to teachers and parents and friends. Just leave that alone for just a minute. And you see that this space is not trying to know anything. This awareness only knows itself. Right now, you are aware that you are aware. Nobody is aware of nobody. No thing is aware of no thing. Stillness is aware of stillness. Silence is aware of silence. Peace is aware of peace. These are all just labels and pointers, pointing to that which is beyond the actual words. Drop any concepts of these words. Drop the interpretation. Don't take the word for what I'm actually pointing to. The word in itself is just a pointer. See that there's no effort that's being made. It's effortless to be yourself. What you actually are is this rest. So even when the thoughts appear, just realize that it's you that the thoughts are appearing in. It's you as the empty, open space of awareness. There's always this clarity. This clarity is ever present. This clarity is what you are. See, even when the mind seems to be unclear, we call it confusion, call it doubt. Even when the mind is dark, depressed, there's always this light. This light is ever present. This light is the knowing. It's what's illuminating the confusion. It's what's illuminating the doubt. It's what's illuminating the depression. The light is pure knowing. Without this light of pure knowing, you wouldn't know depression. You wouldn't know pain or sadness or confusion or doubt. It's as if it's a spotlight that's shining on the confusion, on the depression, on the pain. And all you are concerned with is that which is in the spotlight. But I'm saying, just realize the spotlight itself. Realize that which is illuminating the content that's appearing in the spotlight. If it wasn't for the light that's shining, illuminating the content of what you call your life, how would you even know that content? How would you know the story or the person or the all of that is content. The content is an activity. The activity is an appearance. And this light is unchanging. It's ever present. It's not moving. It's not like it's moving around. What's moving around is the activity. That the light is shining on. That's how you know it's moving. That's how you know it's coming and going. So it's not like I know something that you don't know. You are this knowing. Say it again. Oh, it was muffled. Try again without moving the microphone.
Do I have to meditate more?
You have to. What was?
Meditate.
Hold on. Let's pause that question. Were you aware of the space when I was speaking there?
Really.
What were you aware of?
Questions coming in the mind. I was distracted.
Okay, so the questions were appearing. What were they appearing in?
In my mind.
What was the mind appearing?
Me.
So the questions were appearing, right? So as I was speaking, some questions. What is he talking about? This is confusing. He's slow. All these different questions were coming up. Yeah?
Yes.
Yes. Now, these questions are things. Yes?
Not questions like I will never get these.
Say it again.
I will never get what you are talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
These are just thoughts. Questions are thoughts. These doubts are thoughts. This judgment is thoughts. All of these things are thoughts. Thoughts are things. Yes? Now, I'm just saying, what are these things appearing in? Are they appearing in you?
yes.
They are. Okay. So now, without referencing the things, tell me about you, that which they are appearing in.
I was listening to the thoughts.
Mm-hmm. But right now, I'm not asking you, I'm asking you right now to experience yourself. Don't reference the past. Don't reference that little meditation that just happened. Right now, tell me about you. You, that which these things are appearing in. You just told me that these things are appearing in you. Don't tell me about the things. Tell me about you. Go ahead.
Like in me. Mm. I mean, I'm listening to it. I mean,
Tell me about yourself.
I was observing the thoughts. I was sensing a fear. Mm.
Tell me about that which is observing the thoughts. It's present right now, so don't reference the past.
It's like being aware of. I was
Okay.
aware.
Okay. So you are aware.
Yes, I was aware.
Not was. Check again. Are you aware right now?
Of what?
You don't need to be aware of something. That's what you're used to. You are aware of something because you are aware. It's not that you are aware of something makes it that you are aware. It's that you are aware. That's what makes it possible to be aware of something. You are always aware of something. And I'm just saying, I'm pointing out that you are actually awareness. And awareness is actually aware of awareness. How else would you know that you are aware if you didn't check yourself? That's what just happened. When you said, and I said, tell me about yourself, you said, I'm aware. That's the only
Something
truth.
is
That's the
deeper
only
than
true
the
thing that you've said.
awareness.
Hey, that's the only true thing that you've said in your life. Everything else is just a bunch of baloney. It's nonsense. So how do you know that you are aware? You just said, I'm aware. How do you know?
I'm experiencing the things that are happening.
You're experiencing things that are happening.
Thoughts, this conversation, sounds,
Okay.
feelings that I'm feeling and experiencing this.
Okay. Now don't reference any of these things. Are you still aware without referencing these things? Yes, you are. Mm-hmm. So you don't depend on these things to be aware. These things actually depend on you. It's like this cup. Can this cup exist without the space that it appears in? Can there be an object without the subject? Can there be a thing without the space? Have you ever seen a cup without the space? Is it possible? No. So, like that, you're telling about the mind, the object, the mind, the object, the thought. Can there be an object without the subject? Yes or no?
Not sure.
You're not sure?
I'm very distracted from the sounds.
That's okay. I can ask someone else. That's good though. So that's good. You see what I'm pointing out is that you're always aware of things. And I'm just saying, well, just be aware of the awareness that you are. And the awareness that you are is not a thing. And that's what you know for certain is that you are aware. And then I say, well, how do you know for certain that you are aware? Are you sure? You go, well, yeah, I just know that I am. Right there, when you're checking, that's what you are. You are checking yourself. You are aware of yourself in that moment. Everything else can be doubted. Everything else you're unsure of. You don't want to know that you're unsure of it because that starts feeling like your reality just starts kind of crumbling. But that's a conceptual reality. What you actually are is the reality of all those things. Right? The reality means that it's unchanging, that all the things depend on it. Right? The reality of this cup is the space. That without the space, this cup can't exist. The space is what gives reality to the thing. The subject is what gives reality to the object. The subject doesn't depend on the object, but the object depends on the subject. So I'm just trying to show you what's fundamental. This experience, this conversation, can it exist if it wasn't for the fact that you are aware? No. The awareness is prior. It's fundamental. It's the basis of this conversation. Not just this conversation, but that what you call your entire life. So your life has been constantly changing. Things have been appearing and disappearing. Boyfriend enters your life, boyfriend disappears from your life, appears and disappears. Breakfast came, breakfast goes. It's coming and going. That body is changing, the mind is changing. But the awareness, check to see, is it changing? Is the awareness coming and going? Is the awareness appearing and disappearing? That would be more real than all of these appearances and coming and goings and changing. All of that activity is impermanent, but the awareness is permanent. Reality would have to be permanent. Sim, what about you? Do you have any questions?